Hey, this is Josh Mobley. This is a video walkthrough of the song Sunrise, done in Reason 7. You'll have to forgive me if I'm kind of all over the place. I haven't done this in a while, so I'm a little rusty. Before we begin, I'd like to thank Steven Stern at APM Associated Production Music for making this all possible. The vocals are by Cristi Vaughan, and she's probably going to be famous, so remember that name. All right, so let's get into it. This is a very simple song. It's based around two different samples from two different songs, and I'm just going to play a little bit of it, and then we'll go through certain aspects of the production and the sounds used. Okay, she's awesome. I love Cristi's voice and her lyrics. So I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about some of the new features in Reason 7. And my two favorite features, without question, are the busing and parallel channels and the Spectrum EQ. And before, when you were when you would make a track and you wanted to bust things out, you'd have to go to the mix channel, go direct out into like a mixer, and then have that go to a mix channel. And then, like for vocals, let's say you had five tracks of vocals, you'd have to put them all in that mixer, and then, you couldn't solo anything, you'd have to solo everything to be able to hear the vocals. And now with busing built into Reason 7, it's a dream, man. And it's done, I think, better than any other application I've ever used. So, like, let's go to the background vocals, boom. And I'll just hit play. It's awesome, man. And, you can route, a subgroup to another subgroup. If I were to just, hit that over here, new output bus, or in this case, BVG down, which is background vocals. And the reason why I did that is because I have automation, throughout the entire song on the background vocals, but I wanted to control the volume overall of, the track, even after it's, got automation on the mix channel. So I just routed that to a new bus, called it BVG down, and turned it down by, just about 2 dB. Oh, no, just 1 dB, 1.9. It was just a little loud overall, in my opinion, and instead of having to go back and mess with the automation, just reroute it to a new bus, pull it down, done. So let's see what this song is based on. It's so simple. It's this sample. Right? And then this sample. However, here's the original sample of the song. Let me unsaw. All right, so let's take a look at this the sample. In order to space out those chords, did a little bit of chopping and repeating, and crossfade feature is great. It makes it so everything meshes together without any clips. Awesome. And I also used EQ on the track just in certain sections, because this part in particular, right there. Let me take the EQ off so you can hear the difference. Like there's that just frequency that is kind of painful. Now let's put it back on. Kind of mellows it out a little bit. So what are the other aspects of the track? Got a ride in the hook to give it some lift. That's from Soul School 2. Nice. Played bass underneath with reason basses. Just give it a little more punch on the low end. And Stephen Stern played guitar. And one of the things I used on the guitar, or the only thing really I used on the guitar, was the rotor speaker, which I love. I think it sounds awesome, man. It just gives this like beautiful color to tracks if it's added correctly. So let me just on and off here. Just makes the sound of it come alive, in my opinion. Let's see what else. There's an insanely simple beat. Very simple. And maybe little fills. I didn't do much, man. Let's go over to the hook. I used the Audio Retro Transformer, and I only really, I think, used it in one place, just to tag the end to give it some movement. Right? Just to, move things along a little bit. So let me play that back in context. Ooh, I see you in the sunrise. Oh, and I used Cele Gaudio's The Curve to compress the vocals. I love this rack extension because it, it really balances out a vocal, to keep it at a constant level while retaining dynamics. And I just love that. And I haven't really figured out how to use it as a de-esser, which I need to do, but it's an awesome compressor, man. What else did I use? The Fatuator for the vibes. Let me play that back. Let me increase the resolution a little bit. All right, let me solo that. I think it sounds awesome. Here it is with it. More stereo. It's like night and day, man. Let's talk about the Spectrum EQ. Aside from just being able to see the waveform, and let's go to the background vocals for this. Because it, because you can have you could control the EQs on the mix channel, I find that I'm using them much more than I ever did I hardly used them at all before 7, you know, because they were just like all the way up there, you know, and there wasn't a graph. And once I started using them, I realized just how incredible they sound, especially on vocals and drums, man. So let me just play this back. Hear how it just adds that air. I love it. And I've also got a FET on there, FET compressor, and I love how it's pumping and breathing because that gives some movement to the track. You don't really hear it, you know, when it's in the background, but you can feel it. And then for the vocals, like in this section, let me just play this back. It's actually really cool.
And with every breath you take me away, leaves on my mind, so we should stay. 'Cause I know.
All right, so let me solo that and play it back. Whole lot of pitch shifting going on. Let me remove all of the pitch shifting so you can hear the difference. And the funny thing is, you know, it sounds a little chipmunky. Like I tried using it like with the vocal stretch type, it sounds real, but to me it didn't cut through enough. It didn't have enough bite. Like when you listen to this section with everything, you know, you can clearly hear them.
And with every breath you take me away.
Not so much with the vocal stretch type, and I guess every situation is different, but you know, for me it just made sense. I'm also using the rotor on the vocal, you know, during this B section.
Full moon, stars in the twilight.
I think that sounds awesome, man. I love the rotor. I can't say enough about it, so I'll shut up about it now. And yeah, you know, you can see that there are like you know, little things. Like on the bass, for instance, you know, on the one section. Well, let me play that back from here. Let me play that back from here. You know, just have the velocity turned all the way up for, you know, those little sections, so they cut through a little more. On the vocals, there's a lot of automation happening, especially, you know, dips in volume for like real heavy S's. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, right. You know, another thing I want to talk about is blocks. Like, I don't really use blocks. You know, like putting clips in them and stuff like that. I use them for arrangement purposes. Like once I've gotten midway through a song, I like to put them up there so I can see, you know, intro, verse, hook, bridge, verse 2, hook broken down, and outro, which is really the last chorus. And it's a great way to stay organized and, you know, just from a glance know where you are exactly. And you know, for certain, you know, longer automation clips, you know, it's just name them, so you just, you know, you can kind of see where you are with a track. And I find, you know, the closer I get to finishing, the more often I tend to put the blocks in, you know, because at that point I'm just, you know, I'm doing the fine tuning, like the velocity, the automation, the pitch shifting, and, you know, like, you know, all those little things, like, you know, these little, you know, breakdowns and stuff. And I guess the last sound that I used was the end bass, which is just Thor. So let me just play that ending back because it, makes it a little more dramatic.
Ooh, we'll see when the sunrise.
Boom. Here, let me play it without it.
Ooh, we'll see when the sunrise.
Actually, it's a big difference. I guess really the only thing left to talk about is the mixer. I like to keep things organized as much as I can, and I can't stress enough how awesome the subgrouping is. And if you get a chance, watch that Freemason video on parallel tracks. Mind-blowing. I didn't get into it that much on this song, because I saw the video after it was pretty much done. But I'll tell you what, man, I will never mix the same way again after seeing that video. So thanks to the Freemasons. And I think that's it. If I didn't cover something that you wanted to know about in the song, leave a comment and I'll get back to you. Or you can email me, josh@joshmobley.com. All right, that's it.